WBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly,
the longest-running pro wrestling radio talk show in the history of terrestrial radio.
And he's obviously Michael Cole.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Talking wrestling.
Yeah.
Because that's what this show's about. That's what we've been doing for over 16 years.
No. It's about sports entertainment.
And now, here are your hosts of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon and Lucas DeSangro.
Will you stop marking out over there?
Sorry.
Move over, kid. I'm taking your microphone.
You're shallow. You know that?
I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. I don't remember what the hell I do anymore. There's the sound of the bell, and we are set to go. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here in a new year, 2016, on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here alongside, that's right, back in studio for the first time in way too damn long.
The first show of 20Twitchteen, and Lucas is in the building.
20Twitchteen.
Welcome back. Yeah. I like the music, by the way. It really just adds a nice touch. Turn it off.
Well, you know what? No, I'm going to keep Welcome Back Cotter on. How about that?
You heathen.
What do you mean, you heathen? What is wrong with Welcome Back Cotter? You know what?
There's nothing wrong with Welcome Back Cotter.
Welcome Back Twitch?
Yeah. Unfortunately, they haven't made a song about that yet. I'm sure there would be a lot of shaky lyrics and,
And
welcome back, Twitch, and
up your nose with a rubber hose, too. How about that?
Speaking of noses. Wow.
Triple H? Is that where you're going with
this?
No,
I was going to say later on the show we'll be going over Monday Night Raw. Whew. The whole promo with Vince and Roman.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit as well.
I will say, of noses, I was enjoying playing WWE 2K16 over the Christmas break, and it was like the coverage of it was WrestleMania 14. It was the match Austin and Michaels, and when Triple H gets ejected, he goes, and his nose will make it back to the locker room before he does. And thank you, Jim Ross. We need Jim Ross back on commentary. We really do, because just that wit.
Well, there are a lot of things that are needed. That Southern charm. That's
Shut up. We don't need a thing.
Yeah, of course not. Now,
that was actually a pretty good impression.
That was a good Vince impression there. Now, it has been, I was going to say, Halloween was the last time that you were on with us. And I'm going to refresh your memory a little bit. We're going to go to this little clip here from back when you were on that last show here. All ribs and jokes aside, I did miss you.
I missed you,
Thank God you're back. Hopefully it won't be 7 weeks before you're back again, because then it'll be a Christmas episode.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Instead, it was 9 weeks. 9 weeks since you... What?
Oh, how...
Just because I made that joke about there didn't mean that I actually meant for you to do it.
Yeah, well, things happen, Fearon. You have to do stuff for the football team and wrestling. I have a girlfriend now. Yes.
Things change second by second around here. You never know what's going to happen.
Nice shameless drop. It's nice. I
had it right there, so I went with it.
Yes, that is right. Twitch is now
because I couldn't
taken.
pull up the "oh my God" quick enough.
Yeah, Twitch is now taken. Sorry, ladies and fellas.
Wait, what?
I'm just saying. I charm all people of all genders and backgrounds and.
Is that one of the hate calls coming in now? See what you've done. See what have you wrought?
Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna go answer the phone.
You're gonna. Okay, here we go. Do something suitable here. In the meanwhile, where to start here? A bunch of different things to get into. Despite the fact that it is a holiday week, so not a lot of things seem to end up happening all that much. I was gonna say.
I need a pen.
Oh, you need a pen. Okay, I was wondering. I was like, you're getting up from the. You could have used this one that was right here in front of you.
I didn't see it.
You didn't see it. That must have been the John Cena pen. You couldn't see it.
Okay, that is enough, Ron.
That's enough? Okay.
That's That's enough out of you.
Are you still glad you're back?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I guess.
Kinda.
Oh yeah, it's great.
No,
to be back. It's like I'm, just fun to raise hell. Like that's a drop worthy right there.
I'll note the time. All right.
Note the time. Yeah.
I've done that on quite a few occasions. But anyway,
crap, we have to take a commercial break. Lucas is still talking. Yeah.
I can neither confirm nor deny that alleged allegation.
You can confirm it. I won't be offended. I'm not like everybody else in 2015.
I see what you did there. Anyway, to some various things that we're going to get into apart from ripping each other over the course of the show. WrestleMania 32 will officially be electrifying, in case you hadn't heard about that. Also, you may not have heard, but have you seen it?
I did read some of the segment. I've been looking up a lot of Cena's interviews because they're just so fun to watch. Because people like to bag on Cena, and this isn't going to be another rant, but he's quite a funny guy. It's even when he's not, given a script, he's quite a funny.
He's as quirky and awkwardly entertaining as I am.
Yeah, that's what makes it great. He just doesn't need a little sidekick, I'm not saying you need me. I mean, maybe you do. But that's none of my business, sips tea. But it's fun to watch.
Watch it, frog.
Oh no, Piggy's on a rampage again.
Also, we'll give you some updates on some injuries to both Sin Cara and Nikki Bella. Got that going on.
Sin Cara's injured now?
Yeah, you might have missed it on Raw, but it was kind of nasty.
It wasn't like he injured his finger again, did he? Or no, that was a different Sin Cara, my bad. Sin Bocce.
Yes. Yeah, no, this is the different one. Also, we'll talk a little bit about the Ring of Honor Top Prospect Tournament.
Yes.
5 of the wrestlers are advertised for that. We'll tell you who they are coming up in the hour. TNA issuing a teaser for The Miracle. The miracle being that they're going to last into 2017, perhaps? No.
It's a miracle we've lasted this long.
Possibly, but we'll get into that.
Speaking of TNA, we've got, I don't know if you've already brought this up, but there's, some fun facts for the Monster Factory.
Do tell. I mean, are we referring to a certain monster in the Monster Factory?
Yeah.
Okay, I did bring that up, but by all means, go ahead and refresh those who may not have tuned in.
Well, I mean, this a week from today at the we will be having a show, which I'll probably get into a little bit later in the show. But December 12th was
not I.
Yeah, we. Well, I don't know if you brought it up, wrote it in the notes, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, okay. Go ahead.
So I will be instigating the conversation. But December 12th, we had the Monster Abyss at the Monster Factory, which was a lot of fun. He was in a triple threat match for the Monster Factory heavyweight title against Nick Camarado and Clutch Adams. But it was a great match. But the Monster Abyss is now Monster Factory heavyweight champion, which in a way sort of has a nice ring to it.
It makes sense.
I will say it's been a bit of utter chaos since then,
Well, yeah, especially when Janice comes around.
Yeah, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
That is accurate, to say the least. So we've got that to get into. A new live special for the WWE Network announced. We'll tell you when and where that is and get into that. Also, a Royal Rumble scheduling head-scratcher, something that I might have touched on a little bit earlier, but I'll get into more detail about that coming up. And we're also going to look at Raw in 2015 and the state of their ratings mate, just to get into a few of those things. But for now, we're going to get to the phones. And we have, because you'd flashed the name to me and then took the pad back, so my short-term memory... My memory isn't quite as good as it used to be now that we're a year older here. We're going to get to Joe from Hamilton. That's what we're going to do. Joe, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's good to be first for a change. I love it.
Well, first of the year, first show of the year, first Saturday of the year, first caller of the first show. Yeah, there are a lot of firsts here. The first time that Lucas and Serena and I are all here in the studio together. Yes, I forgot to introduce her earlier because not the first for me of forgetting things around here.
Oh, you forgetful, you.
Yes. Anyway, Joe, what's on your mind?
First of all.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And I was actually live at the Raw show this past Monday. I got to say, it was a great atmosphere. I thought it was a good show. Only thing is, and I forgot because it's been a long time since I've been at one of the live shows, being that it was a Monday Night Raw, you had to sit through what was going to be the commercials on TV. So if there was a match in progress, it made it harder to sit there and watch a wrestle for like 10 minutes. So it almost kind of made this thing, like, I guess people were getting restless, and they were kind of chanting boring, but I guess he had to do it for TV's sake because he had to let the TV commercials go through. But other than that, I mean, it was a pretty darn good show, I thought. The McMahon thing kind of went to crud towards the end with the police officers and stuff, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think part of the issue that they had was, and I'm trying to figure out how to delve into this too deeply here. Part of the issue with some of the things that you saw on TV, or in your case, you saw live, were the fact that you had the equivalent of a Major League Baseball split squad, in that half of the roster were in Allentown, Pennsylvania, doing a house show at the same time as Raw was in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. So you only had half the roster to work with, so you saw a lot of very few people.
Well, I was definitely disappointed that the Wyatts weren't there. I was kind of expecting Lillian Garcia for the eye candy, but hey, that's just nitpicking, I guess. But I will say about the Sin Cara thing, everybody reacted all in the same way. Let me tell you, watching it live, that was one sick fall, my man. Let me just tell you how sick that looked in person watching that.
Well, yeah, I'll get into it right now since we touched on it and you went a little more detail, so now seems like a good time as any for those who missed it. Sin Cara had suffered a dislocated shoulder during his match against Big E on Raw, and WWE.com reported that the ringside physician popped Sin Cara's shoulder back into place, which explains how he was able to finish the match.
A lot of people want to give Dr. Amen, crap because of the whole Punk thing, but I got to tell you, it's good to have people like him around. Especially the fact, I don't know a lot of doctors that'll be willing to, pop somebody's shoulder back into place just so they can finish wrestling. So,
well,
yeah, no Z-packs on this one.
Yeah.
When you guys were watching the show on TV, I don't know if you caught it, but for the people at the arena that watched it, when McMahon came out and he finished the show with saying Happy New Year 150 times, what seemed like, there was basically no reaction. That's how it came off to me at the arena, and for the rest of the people, I don't know how it came off with you guys watching it on TV, but there was almost no reaction. Almost like Vince had to keep saying it on purpose over and over to get something, but there was, really nothing.
It was like he was trying to get a reaction, and it wasn't quite there. Almost akin to Jameson at the '92 Royal Rumble or something like that.
He hit me hard.
Beautiful. Well, gentlemen, I just want to say it was a pleasure calling in. I just wanted to give that little on-the-spot report, I guess, if you can call it.
Oh, that's appreciated. It's not often that you get to hear from folks around here making the trek up to New York or down to Baltimore or D.C. or something of that nature for any show, let alone a Raw.
Yeah.
Well, it took a lot of work to get there with the travel and the subway and all that good stuff, but you know what, man? Let me tell you something. It was worth it. Even the Superstars taping was worth it. The matches were good, so if you guys watch the WWE Network, you may want to check that out, too. It was a pretty good couple of matches there.
Yeah, definitely have to bring that up. That's part of the problem. Is there's so much so much content now, and that's something else I'm going to be getting into in a little bit regarding the ratings. There's so much almost too much, and it could be argued. The old adage, too much of a good thing, could certainly apply to wrestling and the amount of content that there is out there. And I know that I've got my small little contribution to it here on the. Okay, I'm not going to say it the longest. Yeah, that
you can
whole.
Say it, Fearon.
No, you know what? It was already in the intro, so it got it out of the way early.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, you know the statistics. Actually, gosh, we're closing in on, I think, roughly 5 weeks away from celebrating 17 years of this program here on WBCB. Almost as long as you've been alive.
Just not enough time in the day to do what you need to do. You guys know how that is. But you guys have yourself a good New Year, man. Lucas, keep on wrestling, my friend. You're doing great, bro.
Thank you.
Possibly, I don't know, the tag team or rivalry from hell will eventually come on. In case you missed the announcement a couple weeks ago, Joe, I have also signed on with the Monster Factory.
Well, I want to see you guys on TV eventually, and I'll tell you what, I'll be watching and I'll be a fan. Don't worry. If you guys are just as good on the radio, I know you guys will be great in the ring. You guys are going to do awesome. So keep up the good work, man. I'm proud of both of you.
I like this guy.
All right, thank you so much, Joe, for the call. The check's in the mail. No,
Really?
no, I'm
No, I know.
I'm ribbing.
I made a joke with Fearon about this in the car ride home yesterday, but really, if we were in a rivalry, it would be like El Generico and Kevin Steen. I think we were destined to do this forever.
It feels that way sometimes.
It really does.
All right. Well, one thing that we're always destined to do is take care of some certain commercial business, and we're approaching our first time out rather rapidly because that tends to happen anyway on this show, but even more so when you're actually here, which I know is lately has been a rarity, but for good reason. A lot of good reasons. All right, I'll leave you to doing what you're. That was usually. I figured that would be where you'd chime in, but you're just going to sandbag me on that. So we're going to go to a break instead.
I was writing something down.
Oh, okay. That's true. You do like writing things down.
Yes. You like writing things down? Come on, grab that jelly donut.
the jelly donut promo. All right. Well, before you get us into trouble here, we'll be back. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Got the Luigi death stare from Fearon, so we might have to...
I didn't give you the Luigi death stare. That's not true.
Breaking kayfabe.
Breaking kayfabe. Gonna break something else during this commercial.
There we go. That's what I like to see.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your hosts, Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro.
Are we getting into that controversy again?
I know how it feels, and it's not fun.
Welcome back. Oh,
it's
go
good
ahead.
to see after 2 years my name's finally on the signature, and I'm not even here for 2 months to hear it. So,
well, that's because I haven't used it unless you were here.
Ah.
Yeah, it varies based on whether or not you show up. And that you in this case, the young Padawan himself, Lucas DeSangro, and
thank you, Master.
I'm your host, a man who's always on the dark side, Fearon Derry.
That's that.
Was that a little too far?
No, that was perfect. I wouldn't say it's too far. You're the producer now too, so I don't really know.
Yeah, exactly. If I go too far, I'll just censor myself or something.
Yep.
Or I'll catch hell from new program director Sean Lerman. That's another possibility.
True.
Speaking of that, former program director Matt Miro actually stopped in a little earlier today.
Really? How's he doing?
He's doing fantastic.
Fellow Twitchy friend.
Yes. Yeah, that's... I don't know if that was out there, but now it is. Worst case scenario, I'll just cut it out in the tape later.
You don't need to. Matt and I have always gotten along, even though he goes to the Chamonix. Sort of like you. And everybody else at the station that hasn't gone to Pennsbury. What's going on that nobody here has gone to Pennsbury? It just doesn't make sense.
Well, I was going to say, you're like the sole representative, and that pretty much answers why.
I'm the perfect explanation of what Pennsbury High School is. It's just some twitchy kid that's on a lot of ADHD medication and curses when he's not on the air.
And occasionally when he... No.
He's only had to slip up once, and but he still wasn't worthy of using the dump button. So I think we're good.
Yeah, anything's possible.
The best part was, I think we should have had a bet on who was going to have to use what was the reason we were going to have to use the dump button, and it wasn't me.
I think a lot of people might have lost that bet. Well, no, that's not true.
That's not true.
Thank you, Twitch Gundy. All right, let's get into some news and notes here. So, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson announced on Instagram Monday that he will be at WrestleMania 32 in Dallas/Arlington, Texas. Rock wrote, quote, "It's official. People's Champ is coming home to do 3 things with the people. Set an all-time attendance record, electrify Dallas like never before, and make all-time WrestleMania history, and we have fun." Okay, that's 4 things, but you know what the hell The Rock's saying. Thank you, WWE Universe. It's always an honor coming home, and I wouldn't miss it for the world.
I'm hoping that made the Oh, it's on Instagram. Never mind. It's not on Twitter. I texted you the other time and was like, yeah, that's a lot of characters for a tweet. Just saying.
Yeah, that was on last week's show. Your out-of-office contribution to the show.
Hey, I got it. It was
entertaining,
I was
though,
on the way
admit.
home. I was listening to the show. Just happened to be, and I was just like, hey, why don't we, I technically wasn't still on the show, but had to.
Yeah.
I was in via satellite.
You were in via satellite.
Speaking of The Rock.
Yeah. You brought it live via satellite. Way to go. Yeah, just sending a text so you could pull the yellow out of me. Good job.
That's what I'm here to do.
In other news, John Cena was on the Today Show Monday and Tuesday morning, and, he didn't fare too well against Today personalities Natalie Morales and Dylan Dreyer in a 2015 pop culture trivia game that they called Cena It. You know, like Seen It, but I know. I just read it. A lot of this stuff I don't write.
A lot.
Yeah. I'm going to displace blame on this one more so than Chip Kelly. I don't know.
That seems
too
to be
soon?
the scapegoat to a lot
Yeah, I
of
was
people.
going to say, too soon?
Hey, I don't really care. I don't like Chip Kelly. I saw a video that explains my reaction, but you can't. Get out of Philly. That's as much as I can say. Because that's all that won't get bleeped or dumped. Anyway, Cena failed to get a single question right. And his hustle wasn't exactly shown on a question about a movie that he was in. The movie Trainwrecked. Yeah.
Or Trainwreck. Ironically, the segment for Cena was just like, the aforementioned movie, a train wreck. He did fare better the following day in a discussion regarding the Al Jazeera report regarding professional athletes, specifically NFL quarterback Peyton Manning, receiving human growth hormone, as Cena discussed the situation with hosts Dreyer, Morales, and Al Roker.
I was asking you before we came on the air what the WWE policy is on performance-enhancing drugs.
Yep, and we have a PED policy that's instituted in 2005 and 6. We're randomly tested all year. All superstars undergo these tests. I think as fans, we love our sports, and we want to keep our sports pure. Right. So whenever we hear that someone is trying to gain advantage, which is why they are performance-enhancing drugs, it becomes a wildfire.
Right. Sure.
And in this documentary, you basically have a giant door of speculation that has been opened. You have nothing proof positive. They say this was sent here. That's what we know. You can link all the dots if you want, and you can come to all these speculation, conclusions if you want. But it is just that.
But it's very damaging, though, when you make these kinds of allegations.
And here's the thing about something like that.
Yeah.
Once those allegations are made, they can't be taken back. And the athlete has to spend the rest of their days either answering questions about something like that or trying to prove their innocence in many cases.
And a lot of times it puts that doubt in people's mind, whether it's proven or not.
Right.
And it seems patently unfair.
And you heard him get most choked up when he was asked when Peyton was asked the question, what about kids who look up to you? And it's, it's unfair for his name to get associated with this if it is just an allegation. And now kids are questioning and putting together his name with HGH, and it's just not fair for a role model.
The Peyton Manning question is a little bit more spectacular because it's now a wide-range media story, but all the time, I'll walk into a room, the first thing everyone says is, wow, he's big, he must be doing this.
Right.
It's just a very, very difficult thing because, as you said, we have a lot of families, we have a lot of kids, and you want to be that role model. And I worked hard. I started lifting weights when I was 12 years old, and I haven't stopped since. I'm 38. I'll be 39 in April. It's just one of those things that the best you can do is know you're going to keep your record clean, take every drug test, pass every drug test, and do the best you can do to spread the good word to those people who follow you. And I think Peyton Manning's performance certainly speaks for itself. His candor on and off the field certainly speaks for itself. And we'll see where this thing goes. But right now, I don't think it's anything more than speculation.
So there you go. John Cena on the Today Show talking about performance-enhancing drugs. I think he did, like I said, that he held himself well in as opposed to answering pop culture trivia.
It really was an interesting, conversation. And I think it's better for Cena to be on the air for those sort of conversations rather than having him for like you said, pop culture. It's like,
to be fair,
he's got such a busy schedule. What is busy? He's got such a busy schedule How's he going to remember what he did, like, in a movie that was filmed over, like, not even over the summer?
Or remember some sort of a Twitter tiff between two musical artists whom he probably couldn't care less about otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, it's
like, what was it, Nicki Minaj
and Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus, exactly.
That's really about as much as I know. I couldn't care less about Topic either.
Yeah, if for some reason you want to check out either of those, I believe that they're on today.com/video. I don't know.
I mean, Trainwreck, I heard, was a very funny movie, which I would definitely want to. I think I'm going to watch it at some point. Bill Hader's, I like Bill Hader. He's a very funny guy. I look like Mark Wahlberg, ate Mark Wahlberg. That was a funny quote.
All right. Well, if I can get serious for a moment, because I don't know how else to transition to not good news, but kind of a bit of a shocker that came to a lot of people on Monday. I know it hit us Monday evening at the factory.
Yeah.
Lemmy Kilmister of the band Motorhead passed away on Monday from what the band called, quote, an extremely aggressive cancer. Motorhead, of course, has performed various wrestler entrance themes going back almost 2 decades to their cover of Enter Sandman for the ECW Extreme Music album in 1998, to most notably Triple H's The Game, as well as King of Kings themes, and also the theme to the faction Evolution, the song Line in the Sand from 2004.
I gotta say, the only, that's how I sort of found out about Motorhead. I don't really listen to the band often. I do have the 2 entrance themes just because they're actually good songs, like when you're in the gym. I'm not going to lie, whenever I put on a nice suit and that's rarely, I do have the Evolution theme, in my head. But, it's understandable. His music definitely touched a lot of lives, and it's sad when the music world loses an icon like Lemmy.
Yeah, there was a lot of reaction.
I'm definitely going to be listening to his music a lot more because, I feel maybe I should. I mean, I've heard a lot of good things about Motorhead. It's not for everybody, but I'm sort of like somebody that'll listen to anything once, except for dubstep. No dubstep. No. If I
so random.
If I want to listen to techno music, I'll just play like Tetris or something. I don't know.
Well, it makes sense because you are a blockhead. All right. Motorhead also performing the game live at WrestleMania 17 and 21 in 2001 and 2005, respectively. And they even had a recent impact as Motorhead's classic song Ace of Spades was the theme song for the NXT TakeOver London live special on WWE Network.
And the funny thing is, after Lemmy's passing, a lot of fans have brought up the question, should Lemmy or Motorhead itself be inducted into the celebrity wing of the Hall of Fame? Which, that's the thing. I wouldn't be upset. They've done had a lot more contributions. I also think, though, it also brings up the question, shouldn't they also induct Jim Johnson into the Hall of Fame, too?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I would think it would be a travesty if Motorhead was put in before Jim Johnson, considering...
At the same time, though, it's a lot more current. I think they need to start bringing in more people, putting in more people in the Hall of Fame that have done a lot behind the scenes, that maybe they,
I think, wasn't Warrior the one who said that a couple of years ago?
I think he did.
In his induction speech?
Maybe that's the Warrior Award. Maybe we'll see Jim Johnson be inducted because of that. He's done so many entrance themes for the WWE over the past couple decades.
Closing in on 3 decades now. Yeah, he's been involved with that. So that's kind of one of those names that you wouldn't immediately think of, but once it's mentioned, you think about it and go, yeah, it makes sense.
It's like you look at somebody who's responsible for the Rock's entrance theme.
We could spend a couple of hours going through all the themes.
We could spend an entire show doing a Jim Johnson.
Oh, easily, yeah. But we're not going to, at least at the moment. Kilmister, dying 4 days after his 70th birthday, and according to the band, was diagnosed with the cancer just 2 days before his passing. So he was diagnosed last Saturday. Well, yeah, a week ago Thursday, he turned 70. 2 days later, is diagnosed with this cancer, and 2 days after that, passes away. That's...
R.I.P. Lemmy.
That is rough to say the least. Alrighty.
I wish I could have those glorious mutton chops, to be completely honest. That was some awesome facial hair.
As opposed to mine? Is that where you were going with that?
Yes, Captain Ahab. That's exactly what I was going for.
We'll discuss that during the next break, fella.
No, we will not. So, unfortunately, along with Sin Cara, though, the injury bug's sort of been...
Yeah, I mean, it's been all over the place, and now we're seeing it on the Divas side as well, as former WWE Divas champion Nikki Bella has 7 more weeks of rehab on her injured neck and will then have an MRI, according to ProWrestlingSheet.com. At that point, doctors will determine whether she will need surgery to repair the neck damage. Nikki tweeting, quote, "Yes, it's true. End of January, I will know my destiny. Till then, all I can do is stay fearless."
Yeah. It's... You look at all the people that are injured, and you look at how they really need to step up their game for WrestleMania. It's almost like that part that hopefully doesn't do the same like SNL in the like late sort of mid-90s, that period of people coming and going, like where they had like Sarah Silverman on. It's like that sort of... Hopefully it turns out to be a lot better, but, you know, you look at guys like Cesaro, Orton, Rollins... Bryan isn't going to be clear. I want him to be cleared bad enough because it seems like he's healthy, but WWE won't clear him. And I feel like at this point they need Bryan.
But at what cost?
I know.
I think they just don't want another major medical trauma to deal with on their hands.
True, but so they're just going to... I understand their concerns, but it's like... I think Bryan would want to wrestle. I'm not going to... Obviously, I don't want him to get injured either. I want him to have a nice little, you know, couple more years on his career because he's already been going full throttle for the past, what, like...
Probably 15 years?
Yeah. I know that that's the question at what cost, but
You say that with pretty much any professional sport, though, that requires a lot of contact.
Yeah. I mean, like, Man,
this got real serious here all of a sudden.
I feel like it should be up to the wrestler sometimes. Unless, like, you've had a lot of head trauma.
Well, we also, I don't think, know the full extent to the amount of head trauma that Daniel Bryan has, and I think that might have something to do with it as well. I don't know. That'll be something we'll be kicking around for a while. Maybe, I think a lot of fans might be clinging on to hope that he'll be a surprise entrant in the Rumble in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Although something tells me that if they have that hope, then they will be, again...
3 years in a row.
Yeah.
3 years in a row. Now they'll start booing the winner. Which begs the question, who do you think, with all these superstars that are injured, who could be winning the Rumble this year?
Well, we only have 2 names so far, and... I don't know. Are you jonesing for the Big Show or Curtis Axel?
No.
Axelmania 26. Oh, wait, they can't use that. Yeah. Or at least they'd prefer not to use that.
But on to some lighter news. There's a certain tournament that's going to be happening pretty soon.
Yeah, we'll get into that, and then we'll take care of some business because we're up against it once again because this is the second fastest hour on radio. All props to Bill Clement there on that.
Yep.
For those who missed the last commercial, well, yeah, you've heard the spot here a billion times. Anyway, Ring of Honor will be holding the first round of its Top Prospect Tournament next Saturday, January 9th in Concord, North Carolina. The company has named the first 5 entrants in the annual tournament, Brian Fury, Action Ortiz, High Flyer Leo Rush, second-generation wrestler Colby Corino, son of ECW and Ring of Honor star Steve Corino, and last but certainly not least, Monster Factory's own Punisher Martinez.
It's a lot of, before I was a wrestler, or training to be a wrestler, I wouldn't call myself a wrestler just yet. I used to always, like, being a fan at the factory shows, Punisher was probably one of my favorite wrestlers. It was just because he was a lot of fun to watch in the ring. I mean... The stuff he does in the ring is just incredible, especially considering a couple years ago, like he's gotten himself into a lot better shape, and just if you ever get the chance to watch him live, I would say don't pass up on that opportunity. It's
well, or you can check out a lot of the matches he's had on the Monster Factory Network.
Yeah, true.
Go to themfnetwork.com.
It's $4.99. Half the price of a certain other network that's
that you've heard the insane promotions for.
Yeah, I mean,
anyway,
you get to watch old shows. You even get to watch. Maybe you might see me pop up in a match or two.
Well, eventually, but I mean, for now, you could actually go to YouTube to check out the Turkey Slam 2015 with your less than stellar preferred results at debut in the Turkey Slam Battle Royal.
I wouldn't call it a debut. I would call it like an act of desperation because I really wanted to be in a ring. But you know,
okay, fair enough.
Hey, I still made the event. You know,
you did. More than can be said for me, but November 2016, look out. The winner of the tournament, going back to Ring of Honor here, receives an ROH contract to become a regular part of the Ring of Honor shows.
Well, at this point, you know who I'm pulling for.
Leo Rush? No, I'm funny. Yes, I am funny. Yeah. And one thing that isn't funny is what's going to happen to me if I don't get to this break here. So let me take care of that, and we'll come back with a whole bunch more, including, well, actually, we'll get this out of the way now because I'm behind on this, too. I'm overdue to tell you about my favorite beer spot, the Broken Goblet Brewery. 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol. Broken Goblet Brewing, breaking your perspective on how you experience craft beer because broken can be beautiful. Now, today at 4 o'clock, the Goblet will tap a firkin of a new recipe that they've been working on, a white peach tea brewed in a Saison beer. How about that? Plus, make sure to grab some of their bottles of Nori, a 10% Belgian triple brewed with lavender. Yeah, they do some crazy stuff. And if you're looking for a 2016 calendar, now that we're in the new year and want to contribute to a good cause, the Broken Goblet can help you there too. What started out as a lost bet by co-owners Jay and Bubba has become so much more. The calendars are $10 each, and every penny of the proceeds go to the Philadelphia chapter of the ALS Association.
Wow.
Yeah, the quick backstory to that, Jay and Bubba, two of the four owners, are fans of the New York Giants football team. The other two owners are fans of the Philadelphia Eagles. And wagers were placed when the two teams faced off, and with the Eagles being on the winning end the last 3 times in a row, various things have occurred, including Jay and Bubba, actually December of 2014 now, during halftime of the Eagles-Giants game, the second one of that season, doing a cheer up on the stage of the Goblet dressed in Eagles cheerleader outfits. That is a sight that I cannot unsee. I'll leave it at that. And there are, let's just say that there's similar photography in the calendar regarding Jay and Bubba based on losing further wagers regarding the Eagles and Giants. But it's good for a laugh and good for a great cause, the ALS Association, so you definitely want to check that out. And just check out the Goblet in general. Open Wednesdays through Sundays. It's always a good time at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. Check them out on the web at brokengoblet.com. It's Broken Goblet Brewing, the semi-official brewery of Pro Wrestling Weekly. Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, January 2. On this date in 2003, WWE SmackDown aired live from Albuquerque, New Mexico. In the main event, Brock Lesnar pinned Matt Hardy. On this date in 2006, WWE Monday Night Raw aired live from East Rutherford, New Jersey. In the main event, Kurt Angle defeated John Cena in a First Blood match. On this date in 2012, WWE Monday Night Raw aired live from Memphis, Tennessee. In the main event, John Cena, The Big Show, and Zack Ryder defeated Jack Swagger and Mark Henry in a handicap tag team elimination match. This has been Today in Wrestling History, January 2.
This is Jim the Anvil Neidhart of the Hart Foundation, and you're listening to Pro Wrestling Weekly with Fearon Derry on 1490 WBCB, baby. Yeah!
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you alongside Lucas DeSangro.
Good to be back. I say it's good to be back.
And Serena continuing to observe how not to do a radio show by seeing how I do things.
Yeah, because we don't lead by example for us. That's the number one thing you should probably learn.
Absolutely. Well, at least you can learn how to do a live read, because I've done a few of those, including the one for our friends over at George's Cards and Collectibles. It's your place for sports and wrestling memorabilia as well as legendary sports figure appearances. Now, for wrestling aficionados, George's just got the first figures of Bayley and Kevin Owens.
Ooh.
Also fresh in stock at George's on the football scene for those who are fans of the gridiron. Collectible figures of rookie quarterbacks Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota, as well as wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr., and I'm not going to make the joke that I made before on that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you can piece it together.
I've got to say, because I am an avid collector of wrestling figures, and they've got, or action figures in general, but they've got a great selection. They really do. Any of their locations, it's, you can't beat it.
You definitely can at all three of their locations, which you can check out. Easy for me to say. The mouth did not seem to work all of a sudden.
Well, actually, isn't it 4 now?
Well, they had one open for the holiday season, but yeah, now that the holidays, I'm pretty sure are behind us. Unless unless you're counting.
I'm just saying, if he's got enough to open like more than 3 stores, I can only imagine where he's keeping most of his memorabilia.
Yeah, exactly. And those locations would be their original store at 7755 New Falls Road in Fairless Hills, as well as on the lower level of the Oxford Valley Mall next to the Sears Court, and in the Neshaminy Mall in the AMC Theater Wing. Now, for more info on upcoming signings, collectibles, and more, give George's a call at 215-943-2475 or go to georgescollectibles.com. All right, got a couple minutes here. Let's get to Ed from Northeast Philly. Ed, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Good afternoon. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too. What's going on?
We got Chick-fil-A coming up at 4700 Mingate at the end of the month.
Oh, very nice. Always good when they're around, Chikara.
That's in the Northeast Philly area.
Good old Northeast Philly.
7 p.m. a doubleheader.
Oh, very nice.
And Bull Dawson Matt Tremont has his 3rd anniversary show tonight.
Oh, that's tonight for Tremont. Okay.
Yes.
I got to catch up with him. It's been a while since I've had that chance. Well, things have changed rapidly here, but I got to catch up with him at some point.
Yeah.
And there might be a Wrestlemania party at the arena.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah. Well, we'll have to. I was gonna say we'll have to stick around for details as they come up for that. Anyway, I was gonna say I got to get rolling. Time is moving by quickly here, but always appreciate a look at the local scene. Thanks, Ed, for chiming in. All righty, let's go ahead and we gonna kind of have to rush through these here as I said, time is moving super quickly. So a couple little tidbits on Monday Night Raw for 2015. The viewership has dropped a little bit over 10% compared to 2014. The average rating for Raw this past year was 2.65, down 10.4% from the previous year. The average viewership dropped to 3.7 million viewers, which is also a little over a 10.5% drop. Not surprisingly, Raw's peak rating for the year was on March 30th, the day after WrestleMania 31, with a 3.68 rating. However, following that episode, WWE didn't have a single show above 3.0 the entire rest of the year. Now, the low points, a 2.16 rating on November 23rd and a 2.15 rating on December 7th. Lows going back to the very early stages of the Attitude Era, because as we all know, it all
goes back to 97.
There we go. Now, I was going to say, the news gets a little bit worse, too. Compared to 5 years ago, the average ratings are down almost 20%. And viewership is down 22.6%. Yeah, losing just over 1 million viewers on average last year compared to 2010.
It's it's funny. They say like Vince McMahon's, when he's on the show, the ratings are up, but really it's people tuning in to be like, yeah, that's the guy that's making wrestling not so good right now.
Jeez. Well, I mean, there are a number of reasons for the decline. I mean, the Raws being 3 hours, I think that has something to do with it. I would think for kids, John Cena not being as prominently featured, you figure that's got something to do with it. For the not-so-kid fans, resistance to Roman Reigns being the center point at the moment?
I don't know. When Raw was in Philly, it seemed like it was they were doing a good job with.
Well, I mean, in the individual arena, perhaps, but whether that translates to somebody in Albuquerque, New Mexico, or Des Moines, Iowa, tuning in, that's a whole nother story.
That is very true.
A few likable top good guys. I mean, Daniel Bryan, we mentioned his absence. The domination of the Authority, that might turn some people away or turn people to cause people to turn the channels. Inside competition from NXT.
Yeah.
And then also kind of an outside of wrestling factor, but a lot of viewers possibly cutting cable and satellite from their budget and, perhaps going to a Netflix or Hulu or something like that.
It's Hulu actually still has WWE stuff on it.
True, but that doesn't that doesn't do anything for the live ratings.
Netflix doesn't, Hulu does. That. I feel like WWE.
But that could be I mean, these are all these factors adding up pretty much explains why in the last 5 years they've lost 1 million viewers.
Yeah.
Plus the increase in DVR viewing overall.
Well, also, it's just WWE, they really only step up their game around
January to April.
And then around August and sometimes November.
Yeah, true for Survivor Series. All right, we only have about 3.5 minutes, so we got to bring it home, as they say.
Yeah.
All right, couple quick notes. Royal Rumble's pay-per-view coming up 3 weeks from tomorrow. It's airing opposite the conference championship round of the NFL playoffs, essentially the semifinals leading up to the Super Bowl. Usually they have it in the off week in between. I don't know why they aren't this year, but I think a lot of people think that the reason is because the host venue, the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida, is playing host to an Orlando Magic game on January 31st. So
yeah,
they've got it. We're kind of stuck with the 24th.
Hey, but I mean, it's the Rumble. A lot of people.
Yeah, people are going to watch it regardless. You're right.
It's one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year. You can't not miss it.
Absolutely. And something else that WWE's hoping will be can't miss, and a live special tentatively titled March to WrestleMania on Saturday, March 12th from Toronto, dramatic pause, Ontario, Canada. The announcement was made at Wednesday's live event at Ricoh Coliseum, which will host the live special, and it serves to fill the long gap between pay-per-view events, as Fastlane will be February 21st and WrestleMania is not until April 3rd. So that'll be the kind of nice midway point there. And TNA releasing a teaser on their Impact Wrestling website for The Miracle, which features the definition of the word miracle and a tease closing it out for this Tuesday, January 5th. We'll see how they do with that.
That's it's really their TNA's miracle will be like, hey, we're still in the air. It's 2016.
Absolutely.
Losers.
And of course, we're 1 week away from the Monster Factory's MF Cup event. It's next Saturday, January 9th at the Monster Factory, 541 Mantua Avenue in Paulsboro, New Jersey. What is the MF Cup, you ask?
It's a tag team tournament.
Well, the cup itself is a giant trophy that will be awarded to the winners of said 8 tag team single elimination tournament.
That is true.
Teams entered into the fray already include South Philly's Finest, the Extra Guys, the Down Boys, Team Pazuzu, Nick Westgate and Anthony Bennett, and for one night only a reunion of Shooters Inc.
Yeah.
As Matthew Riddle and Nick Camarado team up for the tournament as well.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a fun night. You guys should probably make your way down.
And you might see us. Well, actually, not might. You will see us there.
Yeah.
What's this might nonsense? It's all at the Monster Factory, 541 Mantua Avenue, Paulsboro, New Jersey, on Saturday, January 9th, 1 week from tonight, at 7 p.m. Go to monsterfactory.org for tickets and more info, and check out the Monster Factory on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
True.
Well, we got all that out of the way. We have a minute left, just enough time for
birthdays. Woo!
There it is. Only one, though, today. This was January 2nd is a rough day to find birthdays as far as the wrestling folk, or even those remotely connected to the wrestling folk. Got to go all the way back to, on this date in 1897, Christos Theophilou was born.
Who?
Exactly. Even I was going, who the hell is this? The Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame Great Depression era wrestler known as the Golden Greek, Jim Londos, passed away in 1975 at the age of 78. So, yeah, I mean, he is in the Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame and I believe the Wrestling Observer Newsletter Hall of Fame, but he's in there in the pioneer era, which would make sense because the Great Depression, 30s and 40s, not quite Frank Gotch territory, but pretty close. Going way back. Anyway, that's going to do it for us. Looking forward to a lot of fun in 2016. As far as next week's show, I know we got a couple of basketball games. I'm not 100% sure if I'm preempted or if I'm going to be pre-recording the show as when I would otherwise be here, and because we have the various setups and whatnot going on for the basketball games. I was hoping to have us broadcast live from the Monster Factory, but we'll be doing a few of those over the course of the year as 2016 goes on.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I really think you'll all enjoy it.
Yeah, depending on who's in the building, Ted Efall might have to hover his hand around the dump button for that one, and we'll leave it at that. Speaking of billionaire Ted Efall, he's here in studio getting ready for Country Roads coming your way after the USA Radio News here on WBCB. For now, since I'm already a little bit late, play us out, Nutsy.
1 o'clock in all's well. Serving you better than ever before. This is 1490 WBCB 11.